Hola chicos, hoy voy a hablar sobre Confederation. Confederation is when Canada officially became a country. Prior to that, it was a colony of Britain, and it was called British North America or New France. So we're gonna start by watching these two Heritage Minute videos. The first one is of our first Prime Minister, Sir John A. Macdonald, who helped guide Confederation and went to meetings about it. Oh, sorry.
Careful, that champagne cost a fortune.
Mr. MacDonald, do you plan to bribe the entire delegation?
Our methods may differ, Mr. Brown, but our objective is the same.
My objective, sir, is honest talk.
And mine is to win.
Gentlemen, enough. We must convince the Maritimes or there will be no confederation.
Aye, George. Today, civil war grips America. How long before they look to our borders again?
Separated, the colonies are isolated and weak.
But united. Just imagine. To the east, the Atlantic provinces, then upper and lower Canada, across the prairies to the Rockies and beyond. A new country made one by a railway from sea to sea. Gentlemen, the time for union is now. I ask you to take the dare.
The Charlottetown Conference set Confederation in motion. On July 1st, 1867, Sir John A. Macdonald became Canada's first Prime Minister.
So if you saw the map in that picture, you could see that what Sir John A. Macdonald was saying was that parts of Canada were they were just separate colonies owned by England or France. So having their own little government within that colony. So what he was trying to do is to unite everybody and join everybody to create one big country that was able to make decisions based on the benefit of all the people. And one of the things they wanted to do was to create the railway, which we will be getting to later. So here's another important figure, Sir George Etienne Cartier. He is also known as one of the fathers of Confederation.
For Sir George Etienne Cartier, the work of uniting Canada was as vast as the country itself. First, he won over Quebec.
Union is the only way forward.
No, Monsieur Cartier. Confederation will cost French Canadians their nationality.
Monsieur, together we will form a political nationality independent of our origins.
Diversity will be Canada's strength.
Then he fought for Manitoba.
The Northwest has formed a government under Louis Riel. Will not join Confederation unless our rights are respected.
So you want a new province? Then you have it. There will be a place for your people in Canada.
He envisioned a country from Atlantic to Pacific.
British Columbia won't even think of joining Canada without a wagon road through the Rockies.
Ask for a railway. We are building a country, after all.
Bold as a lion, Confederation could not have happened but for him. In Canada, son pays, ses amours.
So this is showing how they wanted to the French wanted their beliefs and ideas shared too. And Sir George Etienne Cartier was talking about how it would make it a stronger country because it would have diversity and allowing different cultures to be a part of our country, which today is a very important part of Canadian culture. So after which we've just watched these two Heritage Minutes about Confederation and two of the important people. In the textbook, there's a link here to Chapter 8, Building Canada. We would like you to read from pages 1 to 14 on the PDF or until at the end of the page 235, where it says 235 in the actual textbook, and take point form notes about what you have read to help you with the assignment. So I'm going to go over the assignment next, but before you before you do the assignment, you need to read and gather information as to what Confederation is. In order to start the assignments, you're going to watch the video about run-on sentences and sentence fragments to help you with your writing. So your job this week is to write 2 newspaper articles. Imagining you are a writer for Canada's newspaper called The Globe, which actually existed in 1867 when we had our first prime minister and Canada became a country. So you're going to write 2 articles to get news out to the whole country. So imagining you're in 1867, there's no TV, there's no radio, there's no movies, there's no, emails, things like that, texting, where you can't get this information out. So the way they did that was through newspaper. So you're going to be writing 2 articles informing the citizens of Canada about Confederation and imagining you're Sir John A. Macdonald. So the first one here I'm going to go over is Confederation. So you're going to write at least 15 sentences. Using the information you researched, you're going to write about what Confederation is to inform Canadian citizens. You should include information about how decisions were made, bilingualism, what provinces are a part of the country. So if you look, if you look at the map in the book, you'll see that not all provinces became a part of Canada right away. The colonies stayed. So one of the colonies was called, I'll show you a map in a minute, actually, to go over that. So, and then the first speech, you're going to write an article on imagining you're Sir John A. Macdonald, and it's his first speech or letter, because he wouldn't be saying it on a TV or anything, to Canadians about what you plan to do for the country and why you think Confederation is a good thing. And you can use the Heritage Minutes to help you. And you can learn about Sir John A. Macdonald within the readings as well. So this is what the actual document looks like. So if you look at this map, I had to splice it together so it's not a clear map. But all of this was called Rupert's Land before. And then above here, it's the northwestern part of Canada. So this is where Alberta is. And Quebec and Ontario were formed in 1867 with that. Confederation. So this is Sir John A. Macdonald, and this is where you're going to write. This is where you're going to write the speech from him, and then this is where you're going to write about Confederation and what it is. So you're going to use this checklist after you have finished to help you make sure that you've done your best work, right? So you're going to write about the tasks, check to make sure you've done these things. And if you have a no here, that doesn't mean you just skip over it. It means you have to go back to your work and make sure that you have fixed those things like commas, periods, grammatical parts, and also including this information. There's an optional board game that you can play that I've attached as well, and you can play it with your families. It's just a neat little board game about Confederation and when certain provinces became a part of Canada. So I'm going to show you this really neat map that I found. Just give me 1 second. There is this very interactive map that shows you, here it is, how Canada changed. How Canada has changed. So if you click on here, it's really a neat map. So it goes through 1867 and 1870, all the different times and how Canada has The provinces have joined and changed since then. So now we see Ontario, but Ontario doesn't look like that now. Manitoba. Alberta was still called the Northwest Territories in 1880. So it's very interesting to see this map and how Canada has changed over time. I'll just let you watch it. So the Yukon's added in 1898. And over here, a part of Quebec was the Northwest Territories. And now in 1905, Alberta and Saskatchewan. So see, our country is starting to form into what it is today. Newfoundland joined. Nunavut was formed in 1999. And in 2001, it was renamed Newfoundland and Labrador. And the Yukon finally became a territory, or was renamed in 2001. So I just think that's a really neat map for you to see the progression of how the colonies officially became provinces and how those changed over time. So this is your project for 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks to complete this project because the next 2 weeks are 4-day weeks. So there's no school on the 15th, which is the Friday, and the 18th, which is the Monday. So you'll have 8 official school days to complete. I would suggest the first week you do the reading and the research, and the second week you can work on the articles.